We didn't
Oh,
unmute things, so never
no.
mind. Start over
Wait,
again.
so our whole intro?
Yep.
No, I'm Retta, but
For
also
you.
Vivra. There you go.
There you go. Love tech issues. As I said, look at that, more tech issues.
This always happens. Like, I check the audio almost every time, and the 1 or 2 times that I don't is always the time it's muted.
Now that I'm streaming regularly, I've run into the same issue. Every time I don't check, that's when it doesn't happen.
Anyways, I'm Jaxi. I play Demira, the weapon spirit, and she's people today.
She's squishy.
I'm CeruleanxIris /Sky, and I play Akari.
I'm AlistairForgall, and I play Velkorin.
I'm NibiNekomata, and I play Lumi.
I am Zom, the dungeon master that doesn't know how to stream, apparently. Alright, anyways, what we said before, now that I messed up again, our party had arrived in Zora's domain finally. Not finally, as in preparation for the coronation. Basically where we had left off at the end of the last session, everybody had gotten their fancy formal art, which is showing on screen currently right now, unless I broke something else that I didn't notice. But yeah, so
Imagine it's just a black screen the entire time.
no, I don't need that. Anyways, so yes, we are first. Whee. All right. So yes, as I said, well, don't start that. The party had just finished speaking with Spade. No, it isn't Spade. Yes, it's Spade.
Spade, yes.
Wrong name again. Person, the guy who created the outfits for everybody. And as he was leaving, we say that Eli actually is walking in at this point. Is up. Where'd he go?
I need to make him like a full reference sometime.
He is as elusive in art as he is sneaky in game.
He's teleported out of the folder.
Whoop. Alright, so Eli walks in and kind of just pauses for a moment because he didn't expect all you guys to be in such fancy attire, and just kind of looks back and forth at all of you, kind of stunned for half a second, but shakes it off and walks over to Velkorin. Just as a
bows, curtsies.
just
Vivra takes a step to the side because, if I remember correctly, Velkorin was right next to Vivra, so she's gonna sidestep as Eli approaches.
You guys are all dressed up fancy as he's approaching Velkorin. Just a small thing for you to check in on whenever you get a chance, as he hands over an envelope to you, Velkorin.
Alrighty, I will just take it and put it in my jacket for right now.
There. Do the thing. So you have it. And send you the version that you can actually read. So yeah, he hands over a letter to you. And also just kind of sighs to himself as he's just kind of notice, he's like, this just isn't fair.
What?
He's speaking directly to Velkorin. Sighs to himself.
I thought he was saying to everyone.
Nope. just specifically to Velkorin.
What did you say?
Sighs and is like,
wow.
This just isn't fair.
And what isn't fair?
This is what it feels like to be a man dying of thirst, watching another man drown.
Oh my gosh.
That's just gonna go right over his head, and he's not gonna quite understand what he said, what he means. I know what he means.
He just kind of sighs to himself and looks behind Velkorin and at Vivra and says, "Heads up," and throws another envelope to you as well.
What? I'm gonna do a dex check because she was not expecting it.
Nope.
That's a 2 on the dice.
Oh, well, it just kind of goes smack in your head and flops
Not again.
into your hands, I guess.
What? That's the third time. Oh,
Who gets
inspiration.
the blessing? Yeah.
Right.
Who gets the blessing today?
Speaking of rolling.
Thank you for reminding me. 3 would be Akari.
I was gonna say if I get it, I just immediately waste it on
Burn.
catching this envelope.
So Akari gets it today. And he just says that's from that little girl in the castle town.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, anyways, you guys obviously are busy today, so I will leave you alone as he walks away, just kind of annoyed with himself.
Oh my gosh. Eli's jealous. Vivra does not say that. That was fully me.
And
Just gonna turn back as he's walking.
confused.
Well, that was weird.
That was weird. Does not
I don't know what that
understand.
means, but I'm like,
Does
okay.
not understand. At all.
Vivra makes a face and then just kind of like shakes her head and I guess I don't know, everyone's kind of is everyone like gathered or all spread out or what's
You guys are in the room that you guys were at. The open field room where you guys stayed for the night.
Oh, so like the gazebos.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where
Yeah,
you
we
guys were-
hadn't left yet.
That's where you're sleeping.
I-
What the
Well, I meant like where's everyone standing in the room? Just like
Oh.
generally spread around or
Who's closest to me?
That's a good question. I have no idea. Probably Lumi or Akari. I would wager to guess.
Okay. Demira kind of leans over to Akari and Lumi, who would be close to her, and just says, what is a dream like?
A dream. It's like seeing a story in your head while you sleep.
I had a strange experience like that last night.
Lumi has a look on her face of confusion. You sleep?
Yes, sort of. I have to rest. It's maybe not quite the same as people, but similar.
Interesting. I don't know how I would describe a dream to someone who's never had one before. What can you describe any of it?
It was hard to see. There was a man with long black hair, and I think he was saying something, but I couldn't understand it. And then I saw hands as if they were mine, but they were obsidian. DM, am I missing any important details from that?
I don't believe so.
That was most of it, right?
That was most of it. There was a
Okay.
There was a man sitting, or you can assume a man. You couldn't see him, but you assume a masculine voice was speaking to you. You don't know what they were saying. and you could vaguely see they had long black hair. And then when you looked down, you saw the obsidian hands instead of your normal pearlescent hand.
Is my voice louder now? Is this better?
I think it was Nibby, because you do sound a little quiet to me, but I turned up all the way on my end.
Nibby is pretty quiet.
Okay, because I turned her up on mine too.
I can do that.
Did my mic get bumped? Is that...
If Zom turned you up, then it should be fine, because I turned you up a little bit, and it's fine now.
You are at max on my end. Right? Hopefully that's enough.
How's that? And am I better? Do I need to lean into my mic? I know it's on my actual mic this time. It is not on the headset mic.
Oh, yeah.
Way quieter. We're all having tech issues today.
So whatever it was before was better, I think. Oh, mixed results.
Be quiet. Okay. I don't know what to do. I don't actually have a volume slider on my mic. I don't.
They just
I
try
don't
to
know.
be closer to your mic, and we'll go from there. So we can hear you at least.
Yeah, you're fine on our end.
Most I can think of is double check the Windows sound thing and see if anything switched up, if you switched up a headset or anything with it.
Or Discord's thing. But chat says that you're okay now.
All right.
Okay, perfect.
All right.
Sorry for the technical difficulties.
All good. We're already.
So, Demira tells Lumi and Akari all of that about the dream.
That does sound like a dream. Perhaps we can look into this another day.
Yes, sounds good.
Thinking through it as well, Akari would just add on. I know sometimes dreams can be memories. At least for me, that's my common experience. Maybe it's a memory.
Oh. It didn't feel familiar, but that is interesting. We don't have time right now, but I'll think on it. Thank you.
And indeed.
You are having that conversation. You do notice at this point that you see a very large blue fish man starting to walk towards you guys' room. As he just kind of stops at the opening and says, "Oh my goodness, all of you guys look absolutely stunning today." As Sidon approaches you guys.
Oh.
Like you all are ready to go as usual. I have just one small little gift for you. Well, not necessarily. It's a necessary gift for you guys before the coronation itself starts. He kind of rummages in just holds out his hand, and he has a bunch of different rings in his hand. He hands over one to each of you. He hands over a silver ring with a ruby attached to it to Vivra. A silver ring with a same color as Jaxi's fancy dice. The pink opalite.
Viewers don't know.
I know. Pink opalite. And hands that to...
Yeah, that dice Jaxi got, you guys get it.
Yeah, you know exactly what it is. Hands that to Demira. To Akari gets another silver ring with a pale blue moonstone. To Velkorin is also everybody's getting silver except for Lumi because she's wearing gold. Velkorin gets a silver ring with a onyx stone attached to it.
As
then-
I'm wearing gloves, I put it on and it disappears into the glove, and all you see are the gloves.
No, not
Forever.
again! Ah, again! And then Lumi gets a gold ring with a pink sapphire attached to it. All of these rings will allow you to store up to 2 items within them. Just as a precaution, you guys can hide your weapons or, I guess, shields for anybody who uses them within these rings as a background in case something happens. Hopefully nothing happens, but I wanted that extra security to make sure you guys were prepared for anything.
I'm
Sorry, Demira looks quizzically at the ring when Sidon says the weapons should go in it.
I'm gonna walk over and just tap Demira with it to see if she can go inside.
Oh, like
Are
a
you kidding
Pokeball.
me?
Just what happens, DM?
Yeah, what happens?
Seeing as she is not in her weapon form, you just
Wait.
boop her on the head.
I'm gonna
Oh.
just switch quick.
Please hold me for a moment. And she twirls around and spins, turns into the weapon again. The axe.
Does she go inside?
Did you boop her?
Yeah, I booped her.
Also,
Into the
there
ring.
is a like 3-feather hairpin on the floor now.
Oh, yeah, I'll pick that up.
She doesn't need to breathe, right?
I don't know.
No.
I'm gonna pop her out.
Comes back out immediately.
You didn't think to ask before. Okay, Velkorin.
And- well, now we know she can go in there in case we need. You know,
We need to hide her. She looks like a. Demira does look like a person right now, right?
Yes, Demira turns back into humanoid form, and it is similar to her usual humanoid form, but the skin looks softer. It's less shiny, but still has an inhuman shimmer to it. The face no longer looks like a carving, but more like a human face with real looking eyes, although the irises are a little bit crystally almost. So she doesn't pass as a human, but
Oh,
is
no.
looking more similar to that.
I'm
A
gonna-
supernatural human.
I'm gonna refix the feathers into her hair.
Demira will also sort of take them and the other feather that she has, and she'll actually take them out and just tuck them under her skirt so that she's still got them with her, but they're not visible for the outfit.
I have a question for the DM.
Yes.
They can hold 2 items. Can it hold an item and what it contains inside?
Trying to take your whole backpack.
You're gonna turn me
I'm
into
gonna
a pack mule?
say
Because I can take a quiver, but I can't take
Okay.
arrows.
yes. If you're saying that, yes, it would be fine.
Oh,
But if you
that
tried to
makes
do like a bag of holding, you know what would
No.
happen if you did that.
Well, yeah, no, because I wanted to make sure I didn't
Yes.
pull out my quiver and there's no arrows inside. Because
Something like that would be fine.
yeah,
All right,
I
guys, I'm ready to fight. Oh
good
no!
luck, guys.
Oops, I just
I've
created
got
a
my
black
bow
hole on
and 1
accident.
arrow.
What?
Because that comes to the question then. My quiver contains the special arrow. Do I need to
Whoa.
leave that behind?
I will treat the quiver itself as a single item, so anything you have in there, I will count for now.
As long as it's arrows, it's not something
Yes.
cheap, stupid. Okay.
I was gonna say
If
shove
you
snack.
pull out a random grappling hook out of your quiver, I'm gonna be like,
Yeah,
But
that's
if
just it's just 2 bomb arrows,
Yeah.
the spicy arrow, and then normal arrows.
I will say that.
I think the only thing that I'm gonna need to take is the mirror shield, and then maybe my umbrella. That's probably fine. Yeah.
Was Demira given one of the rings?
Yeah.
She'll just return it politely. Thank you, but I don't think I will be needing this.
Oh well, yeah. If you are sure, I mean.
Wait,
like I said,
wait.
Oh,
We
I
might
can
be able to use
hold anything.
it.
oh, okay.
Just keep on. We might need it in the future, and it's a gift.
I understand. Thank you. Okay, Demira keeps it. I'll put it in my inventory.
Akari uses the ring to put both of her blades in it.
What would I need to hide my druid totem? My focus? Or no?
Probably not.
I figured. Just figured I'd ask, just in case.
Yeah, I would say probably not. I don't even. What even is your focus? Because I don't even remember what we had it for.
It's a little totem, but we never decided what it was shaped as. So it's just like a little wooden animal.
Excuse me. Okay. Yeah, that's. We'll say you have it hidden in your pocket somewhere that your dress surprisingly
My
has.
dress has a pocket. Yes. Oh my gosh! I put it in the cloud. The cloud is a storage space. No, I'm kidding. Unless.
It has hidden pockets as
Yes!
of right now.
That's right.
You've seen the whole outfit, right? Where? You know what? Let's better to not ask.
Yes, again, thank you guys. Thank all of you for helping us out with everything that's going on right now. But I have to get back to make sure Hammerhead is appropriate for the coronation, seeing as she has an important role in this coronation, whether or not she realizes it. Anyways, all lovely to
Hammerhead?
see you. Hammerhead. Oh, sorry, Tempa. My mistake. That's what I call her.
One moment, Akari says with a finger out.
Sure.
Do you think there needs to be any undercover information gathering necessary at this ball?
I mean, it certainly wouldn't hurt, but I don't. As far as I know, nothing's going to happen. So if you feel that is what you need to do, then obviously, whatever your prerogative is. The important part is just trying to keep everybody safe. So if you hear anything, definitely inform either myself or Koda or basically anybody higher up. Any of the guards will help too. If you hear anything suspicious, I guess. If you want to keep it discreet, probably come find me.
Any dangers found will be taken care of. Understood.
Oh.
Whoa. Wait, Akari? What
Threats
do you
will be
mean by that?
Do your best to try not to make a scene. That's the only thing I ask.
Discreetly.
He's a little concerned at that, but he's like,
Maybe one of us should stay with Akari during this thing.
They ran out of shrimp cocktails. I have eliminated the chef.
oh god.
Oh my god!
Jesus.
I don't need an escort. I've been to plenty of balls.
I'm gonna grab Demira and pull her to the side really quick,
Oh,
and I'm gonna assume I just have like a trunk of my clothes.
sure, yeah. And
And I'm
mine
gonna-
also.
Yeah. And I'm going to. Can you hold out your hand?
Yes.
I'm gonna boop my cape with her ring.
Oh. Oh, that's a good
Um,
idea.
You don't need to attune to it, but if you need to get out, take it out and use it.
Okay. Do you think that it's really okay for me to be seen like this in public?
You mean dressed like this, or just?
Well, yes, I've been disguised in previous cities.
Sidon actually kind of unintentionally is eavesdropping, and he says, if you're worried about being, because you're a weapon spirit, you don't have to worry about it. There actually is another weapon spirit here. So you won't be the only one, so it won't be too, well, it still could be surprising, I suppose, because you are a weapon spirit. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I
He's like, he
I did
immediately was
feel,
like, there'll be another one. Like, he went, wait a second, these are legendary
Wait a
things.
minute.
Oh, wait.
Wait a minute, it's even worse.
Anyways, it'll be fine. Probably.
Especially considering, I think the last time we talked about weapon spirits, they said there was maybe 10 known
I
in
think
the world.
30.
Yeah.
30?
Ish. Yes, there's not a lot.
30-ish.
Is-
Not a
and
lot.
You'll be staying next to one of us most likely, and so I believe you'll be fine. Plus, you do look nice, so
oh,
it's a change compared to the normal stuff we get to wear.
thank you.
And it's finally clicking what Eli
Oh my
said,
gosh.
and his face just goes, "Oh, I'm glad I'm wearing a mask." And he's gonna walk into.
Aw.
There's the slight twinge of
I'm
blue.
surrounded by attractive women.
There's a-
Oh,
What
when
is
did
this?
this
Like, it
happen? 2
finally
years ago.
triggered. Like a good 20 minutes later, like the ADD is real.
That's what he see that just
The girls put mascara on for the first time since being with him for 2 years, and he's like, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
he also puts his own mascara on.
And they're,
Yes,
not,
yeah.
and they're not yelling at me for a change.
For a change. Now that you've noticed, I'd like you to roll insight, and I'm gonna roll against it.
Me?
Yes, you. Go, good luck. My rolls are so good today. Oh,
I haven't. I want to point out I rolled 2
That is
ones
good.
in Final Fantasy in the last
Oh.
week, so my rolls are
Okay,
great right now.
I was gonna say, wait.
Oh, that's not
actually
even a
decent.
D20. That's a fucking D10.
You're like, you know what? I'm gonna be in hard mode.
Welcome to my life.
An insight?
Or perception, I guess. Either one works
Oh,
in this instance.
The
His
ring-
perception is.
I was gonna say, you sure?
Beat a
I
19.
mean, you probably. I'm gonna. Oh yeah, yeah. I got 21.
Nice.
If we do perception, I got. 21.
Okay, nice. Vivra hasn't looked at you yet this entire time. Just a fun little detail.
Good to know. One second, I want to send you this picture really quick.
Gimme.
You played yourself. That's
I
what I'm
played
showing.
myself.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's amazing. Hey,
Is it
that's
just a comparison of the
It's a
perception?
+2
That's
versus
amazing.
a +8.
hey, listen. I will lie in the bed I have made for myself. Okay, I
I
am
was like,
willing to
"Ooh."
admit that. That's part of the sort of putting the DM hat on for 5 seconds. Is if you say something, that's what it is.
He wanted to be mean. His passive perception's like fucking 23 or something.
No, but that's the thing is I couldn't go with passives because hang on. My
He
buttons
was
weren't
too
working.
dense to realize he's surrounded by hot women.
My
Like,
passive, my highest passive is 15. So I had to roll. I had to roll for a chance at defeating whatever his was.
and then you played it.
I did. I played it. Well, now you have that information. So there you go.
So, Sidon kind of fumbles at himself as he realized it was a. He was trying to comfort Demira, but also realized, oh wait, I forgot. She's a legendary being / weapon that only so many are known in existence of the whole world. And he's like, yeah. Anyways, sorry. Anyways, I will. Hopefully, I'll. Oops, sorry. Go ahead.
I'll try not to draw attention to myself.
Kind of chuckles a bit. And he's like, that might be hard, but that's all right. Anyways, anyways,
I'm. Vivra starts to say something, and then she kind of just mumbles, "I don't think that'll make her feel better."
Also, totally goes over Demira's head.
Yep. Yep. That's
We've got Dumb and Dumber.
It's so funny. I love it.
Anyways, right. Hopefully, I will see you all on the ballroom floor at some point. Like I said, if there's any, you seem to think any issues are, just either try to signal me or Koda or Mikau or even Tempa. Although Probably Tempa is a last resort, but if you need to create a scene, I guess she'd be the good one to go to. Guys,
Interesting. Coda said the same thing.
he would know. Anyways, wonderful to see you all again. Enjoy your night. Hopefully nothing bad happens. As he turns away and rushes off because he's already running a little late.
Demira does her little curtsy as he goes.
After he's left, Vivra kind of comments, he talked about something bad happening more than I like.
Demira nods and looks serious. She's in bodyguard mode.
All of a sudden her skin turns hard.
Gonna
gets
Velkorin's
shiny
just
again.
gonna walk up and make a point to put his bow inside the ring, and that's why we're bringing these.
Yes.
Lumi goes and taps on her rapier and her lyre.
I think 2 was the good number, so that was in my head. I was like, I think everybody has at least 2 things that they would need. So I was like, if
Yeah,
it
I
was
think
more
two is
Function
good.
without 2 things, so
above table, if we needed more, I would change it. But I was like, I
Also,
think 2 is what
this
we needed.
this isn't super important, but I just noticed that I don't have my scars or my orange eye.
Oh,
I-
it's the
I
wrong
grabbed the wrong
version.
one.
It's
I'll
You have to
spoiled,
put
yeah.
the Foxra version on.
It's not super important, but it's, a detail.
While the ads are going,
Yep.
Demira's just gonna
Oh, this is a good
tap
time for it.
Akari and say, "Can you help me search for anything suspicious?" And I'd like to either give you the help action for a perception check, or I should give you guidance and the help action for perception check.
Wait, while we're in the room?
Oh,
that-
well,
Yeah,
as
we're
we're
still in the
approaching.
bedroom.
Well, anywhere really.
Wait.
Demira wants to check everything all the way there.
Oh my
I
gosh.
assume we're just outside of the rooms now.
You do a perception check. Eli never left.
So, Akari, you could roll with advantage and add a d4, I think. Let me check. Guidance is an action, and help is an action, right?
Help
But
is an
guidance
action.
is up to a minute, so I can do it, wait 6 seconds, and then help. So yes, you can roll with advantage and guidance for perception.
Okie dokie.
I
I
would
think-
say this is as we're walking towards the event, if that's okay.
Yeah, once you get closer in the event and inside, she'll probably do a check around.
I assume we're heading there now, right?
Which at this point, you guys can, as you're starting to get closer to the main area, you can start to hear music picking up.
It's still morning, isn't it?
Yeah. But it doesn't mean music can't be started.
Vivra kind of glances around to the others and then says, I thought the coronation was in the evening. This isn't an all-day thing, is it?
I'm gonna walk up. Sorry to burst that bubble, but these things will probably go all day and most of the night.
Most of the... I can't... She gestures to the shoes. It's I can't wear these that long.
Which you guys would notice that as you guys are coming up to the main area, you do see there's a good chunk of people that are already there just mingling, and nothing too eventful is going on, but there are definitely a few people already there just conversing with each other, and there are assistants and guards just kind of checking around things, getting things set up more. So it is technically already somewhat started, at least the celebration part of it.
Question. The correct answer was answer, but do I see anybody that would essentially work for Freddy, or an assistant that would know who I am if I ask them to do something for me? This
Pippin's
is the
obviously
most
there.
power trip he's ever gonna have, and it's for something super stupid.
Pippin's obviously wandering around. I would say you probably see one or two random aides that would be helping Frederick and keeping an eye on him.
Can I go up to an aide?
We'll say is younger looking Hylian man, and he's just dressed in formal attire, but not super fancy, because obviously he's running around, but he looks...
Hold on. Let me look at these pictures really quick. How many of these people are in high heels that we have?
Demira has 8-inch stripper heels
Yeah,
on.
but you can.
Yeah, but
like,
she can
You
float.
can float.
Okay, I answered the
I
question.
believe-
I didn't know the context.
I
I
think the
know-
only one who can't wear shoes technically is Lumi, unless there was like a
I think it's
special.
Akari and Vivra, right?
Yeah.
Are the ones actually walking on heels.
They both have like 2-inch heels on, yes.
After that comment, I'm gonna go. Can you do me a favor? I need 2 pairs of flats, shoes. Just gonna look back and
Aw.
like shape like his hands for sizes. Like,
What the heck? just like
Like-
mention.
I have a feeling we might need them by the end of the night.
Yeah, sorry. Grabbing something you asked. What did you ask for? I'm sorry.
Flat
2 pairs of
shoes.
flats.
Flat shoes. Kind of looks at you, confused for half a second. And then he realizes who he's talking to. He's like,
I'll lift up my mask. So it's easier for...
right. Yeah, sure. I could use how many did you say you
Oh my
needed?
gosh.
This is his
2
boss's
pairs.
like best friend. So
I need 2 pairs, and he's gonna like roughly show the size that he needs. I think his perception's good enough to know roughly
yeah,
like
you
like-
have the observant feat.
I think,
yeah.
I mean, investigation versus perception, but yeah.
Well, he just looks over
Well,
about that big.
It's
Please, and if you could just bring them to me when you find them, and I'm going to. How much do shoes cost? This.
do
This is him asking. How much do shoes cost?
do you want functional or fancy or both?
Probably more comfortable and functional.
He's about to say a number. He's like, I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. But then he realizes again who he's talking to. I'll take care of it. Will you be around still here?
I'll be here all day.
Perfect. I will find some as fast as I can. As he immediately rushes off. But he bows in front of you, does a deep bow in front of you first before rushing off to go find what he wants.
I'm gonna put my mask back down and slink my way back to the group.
While having a chance, Akari would lean towards Lumi to ask, do you think I should put on a persona and keep up that persona I had for this?
Lumi is a little bit caught off guard by the question, and she looks at Akari for a moment and then says, well, most people do tend to act differently in large social events than they would normally. So, do what is going to make you feel the most comfortable this evening. And for the rest of today.
Akari thinks on it and then goes, well, I'm used to these type of events for objectives of sorts, but without having to kind of have a target of sorts. I wonder what would be best for it. Do we need information?
Consider it information gathering. There shouldn't be anything that occurs where we will need to fight, but having an open ear and having several open ears in such an event is always better.
She nods and goes, yeah, to root out the possible traitors.
I have another
Possible
question.
There's a brief flash of like concern on Lumi's face, and then she decides she is not pursuing this at the moment and just nods.
Would I be back by the time this conversation ends? Or is ending?
Sure.
Yeah.
You probably hear the tail end of it.
I'm going to walk up with and just take a piece of candy out of my pocket.
Of course, you still have candy.
That's, he's got like
He had like
200 still.
100.
Fair,
Yeah,
fair.
I have, and this is a real life thing. I have candy in all my suit jackets.
Yes.
It's
You're
for the
so
kids, so
weird.
they behave. At the
I
event.
have chocolate right next to me right now.
I'm gonna hand a piece of candy over to Lumi.
Lumi looks very concerned. Thank you, sir.
He's candy.
And then I'm gonna look at Akari and just. At that point, Akari would know I overheard part of it. I'm assuming because we both have the observant feat.
Yep. If you didn't hear it, you read their lips at least.
That's very true. I forgot that was part of it.
Yep.
That's so cheap.
You and Akari can read lips.
Yeah, it's why you guys keep hearing everything Vivra says.
Exactly.
He's gonna just look at Akari and just kind of do that nod of like, you've got the right idea. I just kind of walk through.
Yeah, Demira and Akari are very much like the fighter types. And so they're both just like, okay, so it's dangerous and we're ready to fight, right?
Yeah.
Oh
And
my gosh.
I've like he does it in such a way that the Akari and him have been together enough that she would know when he's like at the point where it's like he's also going to be doing the same thing, but there's attention. He'll be paying attention to things. Like that of, okay. But how he usually acts when they're in a new town.
Mm-hmm.
Where you pretend one thing and then you're doing another thing. That is also why he handed a candy over to act sweet while he's like, be prepared.
Goodness gracious.
Lumi's distrust level is just like simmering.
Well,
Here's a
it's
candy.
also the
Kill
first
people.
interaction like Lumi has ever had with Velkorin, where it's her just going, or him just going, here you go. She just walk through.
Lumi's like, am
She's
I in
just like,
trouble? What? Am I in
He's
danger?
just as weird as the rest of them.
Does Lumi have an observant too, or no?
No, not that I know
Oh
of.
my goodness. Okay.
She just has good perception check stuff, I think.
Yeah, Velkorin didn't. I didn't say anything. I just gave Akari like that nod of like, you have the right idea of keep an eye out here.
I think once we all got to like the party area or wherever we are, once everyone kind of stopped and started having conversations, Vivra sort of did that awkward thing where she like doesn't want to leave the group of people she knows, but also doesn't want to look like she's hovering. So she's kind of like looking around, like seeing if there's maybe a corner she can just kind of hang out in, or if there's like a food table where it's like, oh, maybe that's something that I'm allowed to go to or something. So she just kind of looks a little bit lost while trying to not look lost.
I would say at this point, for Demira, you would have noticed when you guys kind of came up to the main area, you have your one weaker pole that was felt in one direction, and if you were to look over, you would notice it is Malice again, like before. You can see that he is speaking with Frederick and some of the aides. Elena's there as well, and they just seem to be kind of talking to each other. And then you also feel two poles.
Two?
You didn't notice it initially, but now that you are closer to that pole, you do feel two sensitive poles in a different direction. And if you were to look over to that, you can see a rather tall man next to Sidon and a shorter Dora girl that you don't recognize, as well as a extremely massive, towering over all of them, whale man who's just also speaking to them. Like, he is towering over them who are already 10 feet, and he's like more than double their size. Oh.
Demira is going to just kind of observe from a distance. Can I tell which one of them the pulls are coming from? Or which two of them?
You roll. You get the general sense of the direction, so let's have you roll a insight. See if you can hone in on who would probably is.
Insight?
Yes.
Okay, that's 17 plus something. I don't have my character sheet open yet. Is 17 good enough?
I will say 7 more than.
Okay.
You lock in that the only humanoid-looking man is probably the one that you can assume you're getting the sense from, because also you see he's the only non-Zora person there at now.
Interesting.
You can make the assumption that that's the person you're getting the pull from. Tall man who seems to be. Yes, do you want me to describe him for you?
Yes.
He's a tall man. His skin is very tan, dark tan. He has long red hair. As you start to look closer, his skin isn't just tan. It almost seems to shimmer like gold.
Ooh.
Pictures. So he is wearing. He has lots of jewels all over him, necklaces, bracelets. The obvious first thing that is noticed is he's not wearing a shirt at a formal event, but it's kind of funny. He has a very long captain's coat draped over his shoulders, with a belt across his chest, with a pistol hanging from it. A telescope off to the side of his other belt. He's wearing just kind of the typical puffer pirate pants, whatever, and then has a belt wrapped around, covered in jewels all over his wrists, his neck. He's got a titty piercing. He's got a jewel on his like lip where his beard is, but very, very tall man. Which at first you thought he might have been Hylian, but kind of half questioning that he doesn't look like a typical Hylian.
Interesting. That's a lot to take in. Well, what is the rest of the group doing right now?
Akari, what it seemed like she was thinking to herself again, and then kind of clap her hands and do a little nod, like, I decided I'll try to enjoy this event while also keeping an eye out for gathering information.
Good.
As if saying that to herself, as implying anybody else is listening. You just caught her at the moment at the end of her thought.
Demira is gonna watch for a minute, because if she can feel the pull towards him, then he can probably feel the pull towards her. But she's also trying not to draw attention.
I would say you would notice that he has glanced in your direction, and his eyes kind of widen a second as he looks at you. But
okay.
And at this point, he's staring at you.
If the rest of the group is not really splitting up yet or not doing anything yet, Demira's probably just gonna, for now, slip behind someone, and she'll probably approach him later.
Vivra kind of wandered a little bit.
So you hid behind Velkorin. he's the only one you could hide behind.
Yeah, because I'm now taller than both of the girls.
Yes, exactly.
So I will hide behind Velkorin casually, as casually as possible.
We'll say
And
notice
keep
you
a
looking
lookout.
away or hiding, so we turn back to his conversation.
Demira's not sneaky.
Uh,
Demira's keeping an eye out for suspicious things, but she's very curious to look into that later.
says a. So yeah, it's. Who did I say it was? It was very large whale man. Side on a squirrel woman, and then this guy. Don't. That's
Yeah.
anyway. So what's everybody else wanting to do right now? You kind of see, like I said, there's random groups of people just kind of speaking to each other. Like I said before, you guys would have been able to. The people who are looking around, paying attention, you would have seen that Malice and Frederick and Elena are all talking to each other, pointing out, moving things, talking to aides and guards as things are continue to getting set up. The other group of the Zora and the Mysterious Man, and just in general, a bunch of different people that are all dressed very nice, all kind of doing their own thing for the most part.
Have any... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was gonna say you go ahead.
I was just wondering, have any of the, like, event activities started yet?
There is music playing, so in the very center area you might see a couple, not obviously a whole bunch of people. It might just be, it's mostly like the little kids that are just dancing with each other maybe in the center, kind of wandering around, not paying attention too much for the most part. And then there might be a couple, a father and a daughter dancing in the center. The dance itself is kind of, as long as there's music playing, people are dancing, so that's kind of the gist of what's going on right now. You can see people bringing food up to, so like the picture that you're seeing right now, where the statue on the right is kind of where the center dance would be happening, and if you went up the stairs, that would be where they would be keeping like the food and the place to sit down if you're waiting. So for the most part, the dance itself is going on because the music is playing. You do see a couple aides that are bringing food up to the top area and walking around with drinks for people. And it's essentially, you can make the assumption that even though it's not quite ready, the event has begun.
I didn't realize there was gonna be a bunch of little kids here.
The irony that
That's
all these little kids are
adorable.
probably older than you, because they're Zora.
Oh, well. Do they mature as fast as, like, or it's like, do they mature slower?
Yes.
Or do they, okay.
Because I don't want the weird connotation of that. Yes, they mature
Yeah.
slower as well.
Okay. Well, then they're still kids, which means that it's still cute. Oh my gosh.
Yes,
like,
these
I'm
80
older
these
than you, but
80-year-old
I'm an
children.
adult."
Just like the Kokiri. The century-old children.
Oh my goodness. Are there any Kokiri here? Probably not.
There are.
Whoa!
Frederick's here.
Look at that. So, they just followed him or something?
Well, yeah, the Kokiri is kind of his people, so to say. So they obviously some of them came with him to help out or just experience the thing because they're part of Frederick's entourage. The coronation itself is basically open to anyone. It's the coronation event, like the actual, like, the crowning, that would be the exclusive part that they would want specific people being. But the celebration itself is open to everyone.
Oh, okay. That's good to know.
If that's an easier way to describe it.
So right now it's just mostly casual, but once the coronation happens, that's when it's gonna kind of break off to a lot more specific folks.
Correct.
Okay. I think after Vivra kind of wanders a little bit, she sort of reminds herself that she is part of the group here to, you know, kind of guard people and help out in whatever way. So I think that eventually she'll make her way over to Frederick and Elena and say, I know not a lot's happening right now, but do you guys need help with anything?
Oh, they're kind of surprised at your sudden appearance because you're also very large too compared to the other ones. So they are obviously distracted. And,
Out of nowhere.
Like both of them, you somehow snuck up on both of them, which is surprising considering Elena's not expertise, job, whatever. Anyways, they're also surprised at your attire too because they were not expecting that. As far like you caught them off guard because they saw your face and then realized what you were wearing, so that's what distracted them.
So they kind of do they look at the face first and then they kind of do like a glance double take.
Yeah, it was like, that's Vivra. That's Vivra. Whoa.
Sorry, I can go. I didn't mean to startle or whatever.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Yeah. Lumi's friend insisted.
You'd see a
lot.
Just because I want to roll a perception check.
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna use different dice because my dice hate me today. And so do Jaxie's. Let's go ahead and
no.
You don't need that high of a roll.
Oh, perception?
Yep.
That's an 8.
Yep, you beat. You can
You're
see.
Kidding.
I can roll the 2. You can see my fancy dice doesn't like me. The one that Jaxie got me.
Sadly.
That's a 4. See,
I might have to break out. I might have to break out the flower dice because my normal dice just are not cooperating today.
But anyways, you see the very slightest hint of a blush off of Elena's face as she looked at you.
Vivra looks away.
Frederick.
Vivra's eyes kind of widen a little bit and just very quickly focus back on Frederick. Like, yeah, I'm here to help or whatever.
Frederick just kind of comments, shakes off the nerves or whatever, the initial shock that he noticed. But I think we have things mostly handled right now. We're just kind of waiting for the official event to get started. So,
but that's not until like the
coronation itself
right?
is the afternoon. Yes. As of right now, it's mostly manual labor, and I assume based on what you're wearing, you don't want to ruin your outfit. So.
I mean, I think it's an illusion, so I don't know if I can ruin it. But also,
it's a mix of both, where it is an illusion or
but
it's a glamour, but it's physical form.
Okay. I guess if Vivra has proficiency in Arcana, so she would kind of have a grasp on what happened in general with it. So just like, I guess. Though, if I have to be walking around all day, I don't... never mind, that's not important. She kind of glanced at her shoes like she wanted to take them off. So then what do I do?
He saw the glance and he's like, if you ever need to rest, if you just go up to the stairs, there's a sitting area for essentially anybody who needs to rest, so you know. But as I said, most of the preparation work is finished. It's just a matter of doing the heavy lifting at this point. But I guess if you are looking for something to do, it's just you essentially are here to guard. So if you want to wander around and see what you can find, see if there's any lacking of security, that could be something that you could do if you would like. But for the most part, I think we have everything handled here, so you can just enjoy the event if you'd like.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll just figure something out, I guess, or whatever. Yep. And she kind of like glances at Elena and then away again, and it's like,
She-
yep, see you
she
guys later.
Also does the same thing when you look at her.
Just
Can't meet your eyes for some reason.
Yeah. Vivra usually doesn't notice these things, so the fact that she's noticed, it's like glaringly obvious right now, and she's like, why are they blushing at me? This is ridiculous. I need to get out of here. I'm gonna go somewhere. And yeah, so I guess she'll start kind of slowly walking around looking at, like Frederick said, this sort of security of the place. It's a very open place, so she's like, this is, I guess there's enough of us.
Mhm. Oh, so yeah. So yeah, for the most part, there isn't anything immediately going on until the event itself happens. So if anybody wants to do stuff now, feel free to take over. Otherwise, we'll move on to the main event.
Akari will do a quick scan with perception.
Sure.
21 total. And then there was a guidance, right?
Yeah. Advantage and guidance.
Do I need it with a 21 total though? Oh, well, 21 total and then
All right.
guidance. Oh, good enough, you said?
21 is plenty. Yes.
Okay.
So I guess what are you? Excuse me. Oh, jeez. What are you just doing? A general look around, see what's going on? Or are you trying to look for
Taking
something?
in the people, see who sticks out, see how people are, what kind of, I guess, energy they're giving, how they're feeling, what their moods are.
For the most
Demira is
part.
technically helping with this.
Okay. So we'll say, how are you helping? That's a good question.
It's 2 sets of eyes, basically.
Okay.
Demira's not good at perception, so that's why Akari's doing the role, but Demira is just a second pair of eyes to help look around.
Okay. For the most part, you obviously, the people that stick out are the ones that are dressed extra fancy. So people like Malice or Frederick, or even the obvious, the what you can presume as the king is the current king is the large whale man, which, since you are from this region, you would have known about him. So you make the assumption that the very large whale man is King Dorephan, regardless of if you've met him or not. Probably assume that's who that is, because just sheer size. For the most part, it's obviously a lot of Zora people are around. No one suspicious points out. You do, since you are making that active perception check, you can see that since this is kind of an open area, kind of off into the distance, every once in a while you catch a glint of what appears to be guards that are on the outskirts, kind of surveying the whole area as the scouts. Essentially the anti-sniper crew that don't have actual snipers. You see, surprisingly, there are a couple Twili that are off underneath the like if you're looking at the picture on the stream, to the very far right, there's kind of an underneath area to people to get out of the sun, and obviously the Twili don't like sun, so they're under the shade. For the most part, you don't notice nobody sticks out outside of like, oh, this person looks. That's about the only thing that you get. No one looks suspicious, I guess is what I should say,
Okie dokie.
that you've noticed so far. But so yeah, for the most part, nothing looks very suspicious that you can
Alright.
notice.
And I meant to add it earlier, but I forgot after the the interactions. I have a thing that says once at the beginning of each day, you may choose one skill to be proficient in. I want it to be performance for this.
Ooh, getting ready to dance.
Oh my god, you're using the item finally.
Yeah, I keep meaning to remember to do it, but
Half joke. But but yeah, like I said, for the most part, nothing eventful is going to be happening right now until the main event starts. So, if you guys have anything you want to do at this point, go for it. Otherwise, we'll go right to the main event.
I'm ready. Ready to party.
Oh my goodness. I'm not sure if there's anything else Vivra would do right now, because this is like the casual portion, and so she's like, if I don't have to do stuff, I'm not gonna do stuff.
Demira is just sticking to like the walls and archways, making herself small, not literally but figuratively, and kind of keeping her head down and staying mostly out of sight, but keeping an eye on all of the royals if she can get a good angle. Oh, but I don't have dark vision, so I'm going to be useless now.
Oh no.
The place is lit up.
Oh, I was gonna say.
Okay.
As the thing that I probably should have mentioned right now, it's as far as the weather goes, it's currently cloudy.
Aw.
No rain or nothing yet, but it is cloudy. The world would probably be nice.
Yeah.
Oh, fair.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah. So, anyways, like I said, if nobody has anything they want to add to it, wait to the end.
Did I get my shoes?
Yes. Yes, you
Your
did.
shoes.
At some
Oh,
point, you got
like,
your flats for the girls. Yes, you did.
I should say probably like an hour in, if nothing happens, Vivra might actually like take her shoes off and like stash them somewhere. Like, I'm not wearing these until I have to. When the event happens, I'll go find them. So she's just barefoot right now. Until Velkorin approaches, I guess.
All right, yeah. If I got the shoes,
You got your shoe.
I would flag down Akari just to like show like I've got flats in case Akari needs them. And then if I see freaking Vivra walk around with her bare feet,
She doesn't like shoes.
I'd walk over and hand her her shoes.
Running by the pool.
She
Joke's
kind
on you,
of...
this whole area is the pool.
Oh my goodness. She kind of like looks at them and then looks at him and says, I guess for these events you have to wear shoes.
It's usually preferred, yes. And I know you complained about your heels already, so I got you a second pair of shoes.
That's really thoughtful of you. And she'll just kind of put them on. It's a little reluctantly, but she'll put them on. Zom, are they super comfy?
I mean, they're flats, so they're more comfy than heels.
What kind of flat? Do they like penny loafers? Or...
That's what my brain went to, is fucking penny loafers.
Yeah,
Sure.
no.
Penny loafers.
Sure, we'll say that. They're
Converse.
they're flip-flops.
Gotta get them
No.
high top Converse.
Be a smart ass.
No, because
No.
if
The
they were
knee-high
penny
ones.
the reason my brain went to penny loafers was because it's I was gonna have Vivra say, you know, I never told you this, but my mom used to make me wear penny loafers as a kid.
Yeah, they're just they're penny. We'll say they're penny loafers. I don't know what those are because I don't know what shoes are. Anyways,
they've got little clips on the top. They're very cute.
they're nice. They're nice. Anyway, we'll say that the music stops for a minute as you can see everybody who, like, at this point there's a lot more people here now. Just kind of doing their own thing, waiting, and then you do see here that the music kind of quiets itself for a moment, and the massive whale man
Whoa, look at that guy.
stands up and just kind of addresses the crowd. He is very, very loud, deep voice that I can't do, but I'll let you use your imagination. He just says, "Thank you all for coming here for my son's coronation. I hope you all will have a wonderful time with the sorry, my words aren't working. He's talking way better than I'm talking. Yeah, thaumaturgy. There you go. Perfect. He's using thaumaturgy. Or somebody is. You see Kodo in the background just go, and then all of a sudden his voice is echoing now. Anyways, I got distracted by myself. So thanks everybody for coming, and hopes they'll all enjoy the evening. Just as it's a great honor to have everybody here to witness my son taking over my position. I know he'll do a great job, especially with the support that he has with Tempa. Shouldn't be any issue. I trust him completely, which at this point you can see to the side behind him. You can see that Mikau is standing kind of in the background. He's in the middle for here, but whatever. Just kind of letting his father talk. Sidon is also there, as well as Mifa, the daughter. She's also there. But anyways, this is a time for celebration, so obviously I want everybody to have a wonderful time, and we will proceed with the coronation itself after everything is over with. You guys can see that next to Mikau, Tempa is there. She is bedazzled way further than you would ever expect that she would even allow people to do, but she was convinced.
She is glitter.
She's dressed up extremely formal. Above table, you could make the assumption that she is probably the person in line to be the queen, based on how she is dressed.
And the royal engagement pendant she had.
Correct, which is still front and center on her chest. But anyway, so he just kind of says, but I don't want to talk anymore, so have fun. And just kind of sits back down in his chair as a big wave kind of, because it's a wave pool like throne, so a big wave just kind of whoosh as he sits down. And
I like
at that
this
point,
king. He's relatable.
He's like, I'm retired. This isn't my job anymore.
I'm done.
He's done. So yeah, at that point, the music itself picks back up again, and people are basically, the event itself has started officially now. So people are dancing in the center, and you guys are free to take over again, whatever you want to do.
So now is the actual event.
The
all of the
formal
public
event.
folks have been sort of ushered out at this point or something.
This is still the party part of it. Yes.
I see.
This
Okay.
is just the king addressing everybody, thanking them for coming, and starting the official event. The coronation itself will happen later.
Okay. Vivr's gonna kind of lean over to Lumi and is like, if this was the actual event, why did we need to be here hours ago?
Because several things can go wrong between starting setup and an actual event such as this.
Okay. And we needed to be in the outfits that entire time because...
Which at this...
We have time to go and change.
Your friend dressed us in 10 seconds per person. I think we had time.
And is a strong word. That's a business associate.
Oh, okay.
The middle of your conversation, Lumi, you see Malice is approaching you and kind of unintentionally but intentionally interrupts your conversation and just kind of looks at you, Lumi, and says, Lumi, would you like to dance? As he holds out his hand. It's a light bow. He is dressed kind of in a easiest way to describe it is in a very dark black and gray formal kimono, basically. His hair is, we'll say, his hair is half done up in his bun, and the rest is long, laid down still. He's looking fancy. Obviously, he is. It's ironic because it's a very simple outfit, but it is like that. As you look at it, you realize that's an extremely expensive outfit. So even though it's very simple, it's very expensive. As
Extravagant.
it should. Yes, as
That
it
is
should.
his style.
Vivra gets to see Lumi's entire like demeanor and expression just morph. She goes from
Aw.
like mildly disinterested, keeping an eye on everything that's going around. Her eyes lock on to Malice, and she like brightens up, and then she brings herself back down. It's just a flicker of like, oh, and then she levels back out very quickly.
Oh my goodness me.
It's very cute.
Be a smartass and be like, roll a deception check to see if you can control yourself.
No,
you
she
want me to, I
said
can.
she said what Vivra saw.
Okay.
Vivra,
Right.
she said Vivra
True.
sees this.
Vivra
Therefore,
She
Vivra
didn't
saw
hide it.
that.
Got it.
She
It is
wasn't
too
trying
late.
to hide the reaction. That
Yeah.
she wasn't trying to hide it. She just schooled herself after she had the reaction.
Yeah, Vivra sees this shift, kind of glances between them, and she kind of like sort of nods to Lumi and then turns away kind of quickly because her face is kind of like a what the F? like Malice? Really? She doesn't say that, but her face like she can feel her expression start to shift, so she's just like, oh yep, go ahead, and then she turns and walks away to leave them to it.
Of course, sir. Thank you.
And just the very subtle flash of a smile as he takes your hand and leads you off to the dance floor. Begins to dance with you. And after you guys dance for a moment, he just kind of speaks up to a minute as you guys were having small talk for a moment, and he somewhat gets to a point now. Just kind of asks you, and he says, well, you know, from my short time observing Demira, she seems to be quite attached to Velkorin. And, you know, I think if we want to get behind the fraudulent rune issue, maybe it would be a good idea for you to get to know him a bit better. Demira might be telling him a bit more than we think, but you never know.
Velkorin is rather reserved. We've spoken. Well, spoken is a very strong word. He has approached me merely twice. He was traveling, of course, protecting someone else. And I'm not certain that I can get a way in with him. Demira, on the other hand, I believe I can get to warm up to me.
Well, I'm sure with your person, you can warm up get anybody to warm up. Since we're on the subject, what do you think of the party itself?
Oh, I think this is an excellently extravagant party for a king. This is simply wonderful, and it's so well put together.
Party as in the players. But still, either way.
Ow. Well, the dinner's different.
What do you think?
Restock.
Let me rephrase. What do you think?
I love
party's
that.
great,
I
the
love
party,
that
on the other hand.
misunderstanding.
That's okay. No, we'll say
The party's so extravagant. Vivra over in the corner,
It's-
like, what?
it's perfect. It's perfect. We'll say it was nerves to Lumi, and she didn't understand the question, so it's perfect. Well, that's
Lumi's got a
nice, but
little
I meant
excited, and she's a little blunt. Don't worry about it.
he kind of
Laura, cute.
Just like the other party.
the very rare times you ever see him show emotion. He just kind of chuckles a moment. He's like, not the party itself. I meant the crew that you are traveling with. You've been with them for about a month now. Curious on what you think of them.
And that little blush is now like
It's beet red.
embarrassed.
She is
And
glowing.
She ducks her head and my apologies. As I said, Velkorin tends to keep to himself. The ladies are interesting. Demira seems a little naive. She asked what a dream was this morning, which I wasn't even certain that she could dream. And Akari's unique. Friendly, I believe, but I spend most of my time with her. Vivra, I believe, does not consider the consequences of her actions quite thoroughly yet. It's a skill that one must learn, but flashing the prince's seal to questionable folk was... It would not have been good for any of us had they chosen to pursue violence.
Yeah. Part of the reason why, the irony that I wanted them to travel with you to help protect you, even though I know you can handle yourself. But the irony that they likely would have caused issues if it was a different opportunity. Thankfully, nothing happened. You seem to have scared them.
But of course, having the prince waiting upon us, and you as well, that should scare anyone. We would be looked for.
They all seem harmless enough, though. I trust you can handle yourself with this group. The only one I still am slightly wary of is that Velkorin. Seems to definitely be reserved and is probably hiding something. So keep an eye on him just to be safe.
Overin handed me a candy before we started. It was quite strange.
He kind of looks... Again, the man who doesn't show emotion is showing a lot of emotion. He's very confused at the candy. What the fuck? That was the least expected thing from a person. Ironically, Malice and Velkorin kind of have the somewhat same vibe for certain things, so he's like, oh, something I would expect out of him. But, well,
Gotta keep them on their toes.
each to each their own. At least.
I suppose. I will keep a better eye upon him, though.
You can always contact me if anything happens. That's why I gave you that stone.
Yes, and that is a big comfort knowing that if something were to go horribly wrong, I do still have the safety net.
As you all continue, you both continue to dance. We'll say the music starts to shift a bit, and so he hands you off to the next person, because that's kind of how these dances work, is everybody kind of shifts partners and he continues to dance. You've been shifted to a different person now, as he's been shifted to another as well. What is... Velkorin, what are you doing?
Getting food.
Eating food. Okay.
Well, I'm going to get food. Well, I was going to get food, and then I was going to just slip away from the party for a little bit.
Shocking.
Shocking nobody.
Sneaking away.
Sneaking away.
Lumi's gossiping and Velkorin's just running off into the night. Not helping your image there, buddy.
As soon as he gets out of the dance floor lighting, he's invisible.
Yeah. Peace.
Velkorin sneaks off. What is Velkorin sneaking off?
He is just going to recollect himself for a moment.
Sure.
Like he's not like leaving the party. He's just like recollecting himself because he knows that he has to keep on the usual like proper face, and he hasn't had to do that for a year at this point. So it's just like he knows how he has to act, especially since Freddy's here. And then he's just going to observe the other 4 from where he is kind of just to himself, probably eating like mini hot dogs or something.
We'll
I don't know what they
say
have for food.
Ah, yes, the epitome of fancy cuisine at a
Mini hot
high
dogs.
event.
They had to get some food for people.
High
like
society. Mini hot dogs.
I'm gonna roll stealth at disadvantage with guidance.
Oh boy.
Holy smokes.
Okay. Oh, I got a natural 1 on my second
Oh,
roll.
boy.
Oh.
So yeah,
no.
Demira is
Not hiding.
That's fitting. That's fitting. She's
She's
literally
beauty.
she shimmers
Oh my
in
gosh.
the light.
Put on the
Yes.
Pink Panther theme.
This is
That's
the
what's
skin of
going
the killer
on.
Bella.
This
Um,
is like
Uh,
you are trying to hide behind a Zora child is basically what you're
No,
doing.
no, she's just
I know.
staying by the like pillars
Oh.
and away from the dance floor.
If I move
Am I-
so slowly, I am imperceptible.
Am I able to see all of the royalty here from a specific vantage point?
If we're going off the picture on the screen, are you saying you're going to be standing at like those pillars behind that statue, or where do you think?
Wherever that would be her usual place for the night, but like she also wants to keep an eye out for the people we're here to protect. So if she can find a better spot to see them all
Okay.
from, then she'll go there.
They're all kind of spread out. The king is in that upper area where all the food is, essentially, so he's still there by himself. Likely his sister is, or not his sister, his daughter is there. Mifa's up there with him. Mikau is also probably up there. Most of the royals are probably up with his father, and Sidon's probably the only one who's down below mingling with everybody. And then
I was gonna ask where
also,
Sidon was.
Tempa is also probably down talking to people, which is ironic because every time you see her start to talk to somebody, the person's demeanor immediately shifts to nervousness,
no.
which she does not notice at all, anytime. But anyways,
I have something I would like to do. I rolled a natural 19, so it's a 26 stealth.
okay.
Okay, well,
since
some
I
of
am
us can roll
observing-
ones.
Since I'm observing everybody and seeing whatever is happening here, he's going to stealth up and just like put his like from behind her and put his face like
Don't do it.
leaning down right next to her face
What are you doing?
and go, "You're not very good at this."
Yeah, you did not notice him. Oh,
It takes her a second, and then, oh, it's Velkorin. Oh, I know I'm not doing a very good job.
Why don't you just go and enjoy yourself?
Well, are we not here to do a job?
We are, but for now, it looks like everyone is keeping an eye out. So put a little less effort into that and have some fun.
But I don't need to. She's just like trying to process this.
All right. He's gonna grab her hand and then walk her down. Like,
But it's
so-
harder to see everyone from down there.
and he's going to pull her down into the dance and then just be like, "Now follow me." And he's gonna teach her how to dance and explain, "We can be down here, and now we're closer to everybody. We can observe while we learn."
Oh, okay. Demira will put her
She's
hand
floating,
in
so I
yours
don't really
and
know
cast-
how. Like
Well,
learning how, teaching her how to.
she's
step.
not always
If-
floating.
if-
She
If
can.
you
but-
guys remember, I believe Lumi taught Demira how to
Yes,
dance last
and
time.
I got
Oh,
a natural
oh.
20. So
You
I
did.
was gonna
Yeah.
ask,
Yeah.
am I just a natural dancer
You
now, or
are-
should I roll again?
She obviously just taught you the basics, which so assuming Velkorin doesn't do anything fancy, you guys know how to do a typical ballroom.
In
dance.
his brain, he doesn't even know she knows how to dance yet, so there's
Yeah.
nothing fancy.
Demira doesn't know that she knows how to dance.
The irony of him starting to lead her to dance, realizing she's the better dancer now, she's the lead.
I'm the captain now.
You're the captain now. Yeah,
Perfection.
But as she puts her hand in his, she casts guidance on him because he is a better observer.
Hmm.
So you have guidance.
Teamwork.
While this is Velkorin, you feel as you are dancing with Demira, you feel a twinge of pain in your
I had a feeling that was coming.
no. And then in your head, you hear the slight chuckle. Well, it looks like you're gonna have a funny.
I can respond in my head, right?
Yes.
Okay. I have plans, but at the same time, I also have plans for you. And if all of them come out well, we'll both benefit. So as I said, mind your manners, and I'm sure you'll get what you want soon.
Well, get.
That's,
Seems to not respond.
yeah, I'm not going to respond to that.
I figured.
Any of this show externally?
I'm wearing a mask for a reason.
Yep. I will say,
Uh,
just for my own bullshit, how about you roll a constitution?
Well,
How dare you?
yeah, I was gonna say his face goes from more of like the usual, like he's keeping up his appearances to more of a straight face, like
yeah,
where he
smiling
has his,
to not
his serious,
smiling.
yeah.
Or I guess roll a deception to see if you can. Demira, you roll persuasion against his deception to see if he tries to.
Persuasion.
Oh,
Not persuasion,
boy.
perception.
Oh,
To see if
boy.
I will
you.
persuade you to reveal your
Well,
secret.
I already said that his face changed, so like
Oh,
it's a
okay.
straight
Well,
one.
there you go.
But I feel like that's cheating because I said that I already seen said that he's like his face visibly changed. Like you can see his mouth, and he goes from a smile to, and his eyes too. You can tell just by looking at him. He goes much more of like a serious for a second, and then goes back to normal.
Okay, I guess I should say if you're wanting to hide it from her.
No.
Okay,
Okay.
good, because I rolled a 5.
So yeah, we'll
I
definitely
rolled a
say
3. But...
yeah, I will definitely say you noticed his shift in demeanor for just that couple seconds that happened.
Master Velkorin, are you alright?
Pull out a lightsaber. I'm about to kill some younglings.
No.
No.
I'm fine. My arm just hurt for a little bit.
Does it hurt often?
Often enough that I still need to look into it.
I'll see if I can make something else with the Sundelions. Do you still feel... and Demira's voice will get way quieter because we're in public. Do you still feel that the scale is safely under your control?
He's gonna lean in. For now. But that might change.
If you need anything, tell me.
Just gonna nod and continue what he was. Just continue the dancing.
And we'll say in the midst of your conversation, just kind of the shift in tone kind of distracted you and mostly Demira, because Mr. Velkorin is very perceptive, but was also somewhat distracted by the scale reacting to him. And you guys kind of didn't notice where you were dancing a bit, and there was a little girl who happened to be running nearby you and accidentally trips on your, we'll say, on your train, Demira, your long poofy dress, and you can see that she trips in front of you.
Catch her! Catch her!
Let's say your hands are being held, so you didn't catch it immediately, and she kind of bumps in front of you and kind of rolls over and dusts herself off, and you can see that her knee is scuffed up a bit and starts to bleed a little bit. She's kind of trying to hold it in, but you can see that her eyes are starting to well up, and she's like, sorry,
Demira...
I didn't mean to bump into you.
No, it's fine, I'm sorry. Demira manifests one of her medicine kits and just puts a little band-aid kind of thing on, like cleans up the blood and wraps a little bandage around it for her.
And as you're doing this, you get a weird feeling of familiarity. It's like, you didn't, like, also you just didn't even realize that, like, you did this on instinct almost. Like as soon as you saw that the girl was hurt a bit, you immediately just kind of reacted to it, started to help her. Gives you a weird sense of familiarity that you didn't know you had before. And then you kind of see that she sniffs a bit and kind of wipes her eyes to try to move it over. And she just says thank you as you finish bandaging up her knee. It's just a scrape, so it's not that bad. But she kind of gets up and says thank you and just gives a small curtsy as she runs off to continue doing whatever she was doing.
Demira will cast guidance on her before she runs off.
Oh, cute.
So now she's going to be the best dancer.
She's zipping between everybody.
Would I have seen that?
I'll say it was kind of in the middle of the crowd, so you probably didn't see it.
Fair enough.
But great. It's a good time to switch over. What is Vivra, what is Akari doing? All the other two, the other pair, or the pair and the bird, are dancing in the center.
Do you want to go, Akari?
Akari, for the most part, once the dancing started, she would just kind of seem to be at the edge out of the dancing and just kind of watching it all from a pillar, as if just observing and having kind of a thought to herself. It would be clear that between watching it, she's between that and just thinking to herself at the moment.
How long do you think you sat there for? Or stayed over then, out in the outskirts for?
Well, since this dancing started, she's just kind of been there for a moment. She might slowly try to kind of go into the crowd when she sees an opening.
Okay. Hands are the okay, first that we'll say for the few minutes that you are by yourself, just kind of watching people, since you are being observant, every few minutes you look around and catch a glance, and you see like 3 or 4 times you've been looking around, you see Tempa, and she's looking right at you every time you've kind of glanced over. It's not like you've done it when you're you're scanning, and every time you look at her, she's looking at you. It's like every few minutes you look back out and you see that she's noticed you're looking at you. And we'll say after when you start to get up to walk in, she's already walking up straight to you and just kind of stops you for a minute, but immediately grabs your hand and pulls you into the dance floor. He says, pretty girls like you can't be out in the open. Get in here and have some fun with us. She just kind of pulls you into the dance and starts dancing with you, which everybody around you again is like, oh shit. They know who she is. Whether or not she is aware of who she is a different story, but they kind of give you space as she pulls you into the center and just starts dancing with you.
Akari is
unaware.
Actually caught off guard for a moment because she did notice, as you said, every time kept looking at her. It just every time she started to wonder if she was intentionally looking at her, and then when she comes out and grabs her, It just kind of cut your thought off. It's just like, what? And it just, just starts to dance with her.
And this is a celebration. Have fun. Don't sit out in the corner. Continues to dance.
Almost as if
My
her mind's
goodness.
trying to catch up. It's just like, you're right. I was decided to have fun. I'm just not used to how normal people do it.
Well,
Wait, hold on. Is this a child?
no.
No.
This is
No,
Tempa.
it's Tempa.
This is Tempa.
Tempa.
The
The-
queen.
The above table
Soon to
queen,
be queen.
inline
The
queen,
queen.
person who's
Yeah,
in line.
literally.
A crown princess, technically, if you
I
want to be
took my
specific.
headphones off for a second to fix my hair, and I put it back on. And in my the way they acted was like a child grabbing somebody at like a wedding. I
That's
completely missed who it
Tempa.
was. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like I'm not used to normal people. They're like, that's a bag of worms.
But yeah, so, and it's kind of actually funny because, like, obviously this is a ballroom dance for the most part, so the music is generally slower, but Tempa's definitely not dancing to the right tempo.
Oh,
The right
no.
tempo. So, like,
Yeah.
she's doing it's a lot more energetic and playful dancing than an actual ballroom dance, so it's probably catching you off guard whether or not, I don't know if you know how
Well,
she knows how to dance or not. But
well, regardless if she knows how to dance, once Akari catches on to what tempo she's going at, she will kind of match that energy with the dance. Do I need to roll performance or anything?
you want to see if you can keep up.
Okay, I was gonna say, if you said if I want to, I was gonna say no. I don't think I will. Tell me
Sure,
about
let's
it.
have you roll performance.
Okay.
You used your
so
thing on it anyway, so let's have you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
use
that's not
so-
bad.
+1, then +3 because of proficiency, if I'm not mistaken at this level.
it. Yeah, it's
So
whatever.
that'd be
I think
16
so, yeah.
total.
16, yep. So surprisingly, even with the sudden person pulling you out to just start dancing with you, you kind of continue on, like you, what? Oh, okay, we're dancing now. All right, let's go. And you just kind of pick up her tempo, even though it's off of the rest of the music and what everybody else is doing, but you're like, whatever. So continue to dance with Tempa as she's shifting you around the center of the area. You are kind of, everybody has your eyes on you because, like I said, everybody else knows she's essentially the queen in line for the queen. So, but having fun with it. And then
It's
Yeah, she'll continue the dance with her as long as it needs to be.
what's Miss Brooding in the corner doing? Probably.
brooding. I'm not necessarily brooding, but I was gonna say it's kind of funny that Akari was the one chosen to be dragged into the center, because I feel like once the evening kind of starts and the sun's getting a little lower, you said there were people with drinks walking around, right?
Yep.
Like serving people. As one passes by her, she'd probably grab one of the, I'm assuming a champagne flute or something,
Sure.
and she'd just kind of like sip it while she's in the corner, and as it gets like more and more crowded, she's just kind of like, maybe I should have got it earlier. Like she's starting to overthink in her head about it, so that's also why she's like, I'm glad there are drinks here, maybe this will help me stay calm. And she's kind of watching, and she sees the others dance, and then Akari, who was the only one on the outskirts with her, gets pulled in, and she's just kind of like, oh man, if I didn't have this drink, I wonder if I would have been pulled in. But
Which, as you're thinking about that, a very large fish
Uh-oh.
man appears behind you.
oh
Says, you're just gonna sit out here by yourself, too? Looks like
Oh.
even Akari got in.
well, I would, I didn't want to waste the drink. I just figured I'd finish it first before I got over that way. What are you doing on the outskirts right now?
Coming to pick up the loner so we can go down. As he holds his hand out to you.
Oh. Just the cheeks immediately darken. She's like, oh, yeah, okay. And she I don't know. Is there like a place to set the drinks down, or is it just
I would
like she
assume
sets it on
there's-
a railing or something?
There's enough aides walking around picking up dishes that you put it on to somebody who walks by.
Someone walks. Yeah, someone literally as they're walking by, she like almost reaches a little too far to get it on there. As she's then accepts his hand and sort of does a little curtsy in her dress.
And he responds with a bow.
And I think as she curtsies, she's like, oh, I forgot to change my shoes back. That's probably fine.
As long as you don't step on my feet, I think we'll be fine. As kind of jokes half jokingly to you as he leads you out to the dance floor.
Is he wearing shoes?
No. He's a Zora, they don't wear shoes.
She kind of like glances and then it's like, I was told I had to wear shoes.
You're not royalty, Vivra. You just hear from a
Did Velkorin just butt in?
He might have been. Hey, I mean, he's dancing next to you with Demira, so he might have heard the conversation.
Oh, fair enough.
So at this point, all of you guys are kind of in the center and dancing with different people.
Yeah. Sorry, I was thinking for a second. Because at first, they would probably be dancing relatively quietly. And then, after thinking for a moment, Vivra would say, you stepped down, right?
I did. I had other things I wanted to take care of. Wanted to be the change in the world that I like, but I knew I couldn't do that staying here, so I relinquished my position to my brother.
Are you happy with that decision?
Definitely. If I was faced with the same decision, I would make it again. I've met so many people, and this is what I want to do.
I see. But why wouldn't you be able to make that change as a king?
Not that I wouldn't. Just a matter of I wanted to be more personally involved. See the people, and being a king, you can't really leave your throne. I didn't want to be locked in.
I see. I guess I didn't realize how many rules there were to royalty.
Also, it's a little less attention. not staying where in as a royal, or taking the king, yep, whatever. A lot more attention.
Oh, yeah, I can see. Yeah, yep. She just kind of nods and agrees, like, yeah, I'm not great with attention either, which is weird because I wanted to be a teacher, so but that's different. They're kids, so never mind.
I'm sure you would make a great teacher. There's plenty of time to take over for that, I'm sure. Once you find a place you want to be, I'm sure you can do whatever you want.
Well, with everything happening right now, I'm a far cry from finding a place at this point.
Well, give it time. The world is always changing, and everything... Yeah. Lost the words I were going to say. Anyway, tomorrow's a new day. There's no use thinking about what will happen tomorrow when you can do stuff today.
You sound like a Koku.
I don't know who that is, but...
No? Okay, fair
I
enough.
don't think he met, but I assume she's somewhat important. They are somewhat important. And differentiate. What?
I thought that they did meet or not, because he was in the forest or something.
They might have,
Or
but I
that
don't
was
remember
forever
now,
ago.
so I'm
It's fine.
half
Well,
retconning.
Sidon meets a ton of people,
Yes.
so it...
We'll say he
We
doesn't
had a little
remember.
war meeting or something, but yeah.
Sure.
we did have a war
Oh, you
meeting.
did. Right. And then he's like, oh, wait, duh, right. Okoku, I remember. The Gerudo lady. Yes. Yes, I remember.
Vivra sort of half chuckles. She's like, you
Just
meet
kinda-
a lot of people.
He's like, yeah, I get it. Yeah. Guys, continue your dance. We'll say with the partners shift again, and at this point, we'll say Akari, you end up shifting to Lumi. We'll say, ironically, Malice ends up with you, Velkorin. It's not a man and woman thing all the time. It's just kind of everybody shifts around. So you have ended up with Malice.
That's really funny.
Akari is with Lumi. Demira, you look like you're about to take the hand of a different Zora that obviously you don't know. But in the half second that you reach your hand out to transfer partners, a golden hand grabs your hands and pulls you in a different direction.
Gasp!
As this mysterious man that was looking at you before pulls you away
Oh,
as a partner.
you. I'm sorry we haven't met, but I wanted to speak to you.
Wanted to speak to you as well. I've never seen a pearl as gorgeous as you.
Demira shuts down.
Shutting down. And at this,
Rebooting.
This point, you see now that you're much closer to him, you can see that he has the features of a Gerudo, but obviously it's confusing to you because even if you don't know a lot of things, you know that male Gerudo are not a common occurrence. But that's the appearance he has. But it's also odd because you, like I said, you definitely feel the two poles directly in front of you now.
Demira will switch to telepathy at this point. You're a weapon spirit as well, right?
Yeah, I'm just like you, I assume.
Yes, I am. Although I'm new to it. I feel two pulls towards you.
You must. He glances down and so you must be. Well, obviously you sense me, and then you see he just kind of glances down at the pistol that's still on his chest, and you must be feeling my daughter. She's still dormant, unfortunately. By the way, my name is Esmeralda.
Oh, yes, I'm so sorry. I'm Demira.
As he spins you around, and as you are spinning around, your back is turned to him. He pulls out a prismatic rose and hands it to you. It's got a gold stem, and it's just the rose itself is it's like an opalite rose, essentially, just like in the picture. He hands it to you.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Beautiful
For
flower
me?
for a beautiful lady, of course. He kind of hands it directly to you and continues the dance with you, kind of whether or not you are.
And she's like not keeping up at all. She's like 5 steps behind with everything right now.
He's kind of doing bigger and wider steps, but he's definitely the one leading 100%. Like, so I've never met you before, and you said you are new, so that must mean you were just recently created by the fairy.
I'm not sure about that. It's a bit of a mystery.
Sure. You questioningly. You not remember who you are?
I don't. And I've heard some different theories from... Well, I met the forest guardian, who is a weapon spirit. And the Deku tree was also unsure.
Well, the only way I know to create a weapon spirit is to give up your soul to the great fairy of valor, and they turn you into a weapon. He did for me.
So you were a person before?
Lived my life on the sea.
Oh. I wonder if that could relate to me.
Which also, now that you are obviously closer to him, he's the only person that isn't a guard that has his weapon still on his side, on his hip.
Mm-hmm.
And it's it's a very, very bedazzled cutlass. There's gems all over it. You can assume that that's him, just like you.
Her eyes sparkle a little bit at it.
Is the other part. Is anybody paying attention to Demira?
To Demira?
Yes.
Yes.
I will say, since you
She
are
hid behind me earlier from this person, and I'm dancing with Malice, so odds are our conversation is very, very small talk.
Well, you're not touching each other's butts yet?
What the heck?
Rope,
Which-
handfuls.
That is
Lumi would be
the-
so jealous about the handfuls of his booty I have.
hand
Turns
on
out
ass.
the reason Malice acts like he doesn't like Velkorin is because he really likes Velkorin.
He really likes Velkorin. How
So
does he
funny.
get his hair so silky smooth?
You have no idea.
A lot of blood.
That's a secret.
Oh
A lot
my
of
gosh.
blood.
How is your hair not
Jesus.
red or
My
brown?
own, actually.
God.
I bleed blue. My
You're a
hair's
royal?
literally white.
Why are you wearing shoes?
We'll
So
say
this whole time, except for the very beginning, it's been telepathic communication, so they're
Right.
just quiet.
you guys are
At
dancing
least
in
on
silence
Demira's end.
as far as you are now. We'll say, just to jump back, since Velkorin is paying attention to you, we'll say that Malice is keeping up the dance because that's what it is, and he does speak up, and he says to you, Velkorin, that I'm confident you'll be showing Miss Lumino the utmost hospitality as she travels with you. I'm not so generous with my trust as I am with my business, so don't break it. Kind of gives you a serious look.
Velkorin will just smile back. I'm the same. But if you want to gather any form of information to get this trust, you might need to tell her to be a little more persuasive.
Plenty persuasive when she wants to be.
Just gonna go back to paying attention to Demir.
Which, now that you are, the conversation has ended, so they are continuing the dance, and you're locked in on Demira, and while they are dancing, you do start to notice that he has been slowly shifting her towards the outer rim of the ball.
I'm being kidnapped.
Okay.
You're gonna get stolen!
Which, whether or not she notices, I don't know.
Probably not, because she's dense.
Wow. Yes.
Wow.
Literally.
Now,
Yeah.
if you excuse me, I have to apparently go save my weapon spirit. Just kidding. I'm gonna spin him, and I'm gonna give him to Vivra. Is getting drunk.
Frederick.
Give her to Vivra.
Oh no.
Oh, jeez.
Gives-
Yeah.
He
Drunk
still does
Vivra and
the slight bow as
I'm
you
not
pass him.
drunk. We don't know if I'm drunk or not.
No, I'll give him to like Freddy or somebody.
Yeah, he gives you this
I
slight.
mean, listen, I would have accepted it, but also that's gonna be so funny.
Yeah, I'll just nod, and then I'll walk over to.
One more thing before Velkorin arrives is Demira is going to ask telepathically, have you met any obsidian weapon spirits?
Can't say I have. Certainly sounds interesting. love to add something like that.
And then, like, right as Velkorin is arriving, Demira's just like, do you dream? And then Velkorin shows
you
up.
dream just casually.
Which
He'll just walk up and put a hand like on Demir's back. I believe the dance floor is still over here.
Oh.
And just give him a nice little like smile.
he just flat out grins back at you and just nods as he passes you on to the next person. And then in the mirror back into your head, of course. He walks back into the ballroom and grabs the next partner and continues dancing.
Demira does a curtsy bow.
How far, like, just for like, if we were roughly in the middle, because we were one of the first, I dragged her down there to be like as middle as we can see everybody. How far out did they get?
Pretty much on the very outskirts.
Okay.
Pretty far out there. It was like you were watching her for the most part, and you were like, "Oh, they're just dancing. Are they dancing?
And then like
They're not."
people started
He's
doing the
pulling her
gap.
out. He's trying to take her outside to talk or something. So, your eyes were paying attention to her for the most part. So it was very obvious as he started to. He was slowly getting further and further from the center, and it was like, "Oh, he's trying to take her away." Got it. Okay.
Just gonna lift up his mask and rub his eyes and his nose, like people with glasses know how what I'm talking about.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to stress you out.
It's more, we now have another person we must watch out for.
Well, he seems very friendly.
I'm gonna just like look back at where we started and where we are now.
Sweet Demira.
Which she's still holding the prismatic rose that he gave her.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Demira will start looking, like, scanning over the crowd again, realizing that she got distracted, so now she's back into, like, bodyguard mode again.
I guess the other pair, Lumi and Akari, since you guys were dancing each other, say to each other while you're dancing.
Yes, absolutely. We simply must do the flirting on screen. Obligation.
Yes.
They flirt enough off screen as characters.
Oh my
They might as well do it now.
It's obligation.
Yes, do the flirt.
So as soon as Lumi gets Akari as her dance partner, she just goes, "Oh, fancy seeing a beauty like you here."
Akari would kind of give a little laugh herself and look at Lumi as they ended up together. I could say the same to you. I'm surprised I got a lovely dance partner like yourself next after the queen.
Is
You
Akari
can.
still going at the same
Wait.
pace of like
Didn't
the
know that.
queen?
No,
Yes.
probably not.
Okay.
I would assume Akari catches up with the proper tempo.
Yeah, back to the normal pace.
You danced with the queen?
At least I
Why?
assume I assume she's somebody of high status for how everybody looks at her.
Oh my. I don't think that I'm quite that good.
On the contrary, and somebody could argue that.
Sorry, I as a player have to take a giggle break. I'm so bad at this.
No, I feel you.
Sitting in the corner. I know exactly what Jaxi's doing right now.
What is Jaxi doing?
Giggling.
Giggling in the corner,
Oh.
watching everybody flirt with each other.
Doing the Mr. Burns finger pyramid.
Exactly.
Excellent. I'm the president of everyone's fan club, so.
That's not true. I'm the president of the Demira one.
You guys already need a breather.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's too
that-
hot. Sorry. I'm sorry.
It's so steamy in here. Woo. Oh, good. Well, we'll
It's either that or get stage fright when trying to do these things in live performances.
I have a couple things
I
I
say,
can
if
say
you-
to Velkorin if you want to switch back and forth.
Yep, I was gonna say.
I don't even know what's happening to me.
That's what
Everyone else got hand off to a named character, and Vivra's
I
just
was-
"Woo, to the ether I go.
I was
Vivra's
getting
with,
to it.
Warm Body A,
Warm body
Blue
A.
Fishman 12.
I was getting to it. You were next.
I mean,
was
if
letting them
no
go.
one, if
I-
no one took her hand, she would have
I-
probably like slowly made her way to the
Sure.
edge. Like, yep,
One-
I got it. Okay.
It's okay. One thing Akari could add as well is hopefully it's not too off-putting to have to dance with somebody like me as well with some of the things I say.
Absolutely not. Why, you're probably the most interesting dance partner I'll have this evening other than Malice.
Well, that would be a rough one to compete against from the way he keeps his standing.
Lumi just giggles. She can't help it.
The girl continued to dance, and for you, Vivra, after you were passed off from Sidon, you were passed off to Elena.
Oh.
I was saying I didn't get to you yet. I was getting there.
Okay.
Which it was kind of a both of you were surprised on who you ended up with, because it's not like some people are trying to, figure out who they can end up with by passing on to the next person, but literally both of you kind of got passed off to the next person and didn't realize it was each other. So
Yeah.
after she takes your hand, she's kind of shocked for a minute, and that same subtle blush appears on her cheek when she notices you again.
Vivra's eyes will widen, and because like you said, she wasn't trying to go for anyone, so it's just, oh, next person. And so then there's this sort of pause as I believe the music probably quieted for a little moment as people are kind of passing
Mm-hmm.
to the next person. And so in that moment there's the pause, and then she just sort of takes a breath and curtsies to Elena. It's like, may I have this dance? Is that what we say?
Of course. That's she also does a curtsy. She's actually not wearing a dress, she's wearing a suit. It's actually
Oh, cute.
it's kind of similar to what Zom's wearing. Similar to that. But she does a curtsy
Yeah,
as
but
well.
are you actually wearing, let's be honest, are you wearing pants right now?
Me? No. Not at all.
Yeah. I thought so.
That's why it's a
Are
waist
any of
down.
us?
That's why it's a
I'm
waist
wearing
down
pants.
picture.
I got pants
What?
on.
That's why it's a waist down picture. Anyways.
A waist down
A waist
picture.
up.
Or
Oh,
waist
wait,
up,
no.
sorry. Sorry.
Abort!
Yeah. It's very specific.
Whoa.
Whoa.
And Velkorin, you can only really see their waist up.
Exactly. That's the part.
Oh
Anyways.
my gosh, you're so right. You guys are at the waist while the rest of us are hip to thigh.
Anyway.
But yeah, so and Vivra doesn't really know Elena. So if Vivra hadn't noticed Elena blushing and being awkward, Vivra wouldn't be awkward right now. Vivra's awkward because she's aware that at some degree Elena either finds her attractive or doesn't like her or whatever. And so because Vivra's not great at sussing.
Also, Eli did say that you are her type.
Oh,
Yeah.
fair.
Back forever ago, too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, Vivra does remember that, but Vivra brushed that off because she was like, yeah, whatever, Eli. And now that Elena is blushing, she's like, oh, does Elena actually think that? Oh, okay. So it's sort of that painfully self-awareness while also being like, that's not, it's not, she's trying to convince herself that that's not what it is.
You start to dance with Elena. Kind of says that your dress is gorgeous. You look great in it. Kind of awkwardly had been meaning to talk to you, but I just haven't gotten the time. Kind of interested in who you were. I knew you were friends with Velkorin, or traveling with him at least.
Oh, you wanted to talk to me? Just because?
Yeah, yeah, just because you, like how you said, you were interested. I haven't seen a person like you before, so.
And I mean, she gestures to the Twili that now that it's darker are probably around. She's like, there's, Twili are around.
But yeah, obviously, Twili are interesting in themselves, but someone like you is more of what I meant specifically. Drawn to you for some reason. Like, she doesn't realize what she's really saying, because at this point she's
Vivra
embarrassed.
looks confused. She's like,
I'm not good at talking to people. That's not really my thing. I'm the fighter, so my people skills aren't great. Sorry.
That's fine. I'm not exactly a people person, except for kids, I guess. They're easier to talk to. You know?
Well, kids are always usually easy to talk to, but yeah. She's like, I'd say it's obvious she's trying to talk to her and be smooth, as you say.
Smooth, right?
But
yes,
it is
Vivra and Elena are the smoothest people at the
It's
party right now.
very much not happening, but you're assuming you guys are enjoying the dance.
How tall is she again?
Shorter than you, but taller than the
6 foot, I
girls, so
think.
probably about 6 foot, I think, if I remember right.
Okay, so 8 inches shorter than me.
You got a good head length on her, at least.
Sorry, that's just really stupid thought. She has to focus on looking up.
Yeah.
Yep, she does. It's kind of perfect height for other things, but
Yeah, that's why I'm like, she's just like.
She's
yep,
like, she's making a point to make sure she is looking at you and not looking down
at other things.
at other things. But yeah, you continue your guys' dance and just general little small talk. You guys are dancing.
It's very awkward.
It is very awkward.
River's like, I'm not that interesting, and Elena's like, just whatever you want to talk about.
And at some point she's like, you know what? This is awkward, but let's just have fun with it. At that point, she finally somewhat relaxed. She kind of gets out of her head and is like, I'm making this weird. Let's just have fun.
It's really funny that Vivra is at this point aware that Elena at some level has a crush on her, and she's not used to that, or at least hasn't been for a while, so she's just like, I guess I'll go along with it, but it's awkward because, again, Vivra doesn't really know Elena all that much, so it's just a really awkward dance at this point.
Yeah. You guys continue to dance, and we'll say at the partner shift that just had happened, we'll say that Akari and Lumi, you shift out to different partners, and Lumi, you end up with Esmeralda this time. As he takes her hand as he towers over you, because he's probably about the same height as Vivra, so he's about 6'8".
Forgot to ask him how he got his name.
Too late. You have to wait till next time. And he bows to you as he takes your hand and just says, "Goodness, a beautiful little bird covered in gold." Shut up! Don't laugh at me. Mute your mic, you bastard.
Sorry. I have a murder woman I prefer.
Yes.
Jeez. Ow. Why, thank you. And my goodness, you are stunning yourself.
And he just kind of smiles a bit and just kind of speaks up and he says, "Well, if I were lost at sea, would you lead me back to land?" To dance with you.
Oh god. Hang on, I've got to make a bird pun now.
I was gonna say, hey, he's doing a pirate pun, so your turn.
Yeah, I gotta do a bird pun.
Nice tits.
Nice.
I was gonna say
God
you've got
damn
a
it.
lot of talent.
And I mean, she's bedazzled in gold, and gold is his favorite thing. So
That's one blue-footed booby.
What a pun.
what the?
As he points to the piercing
I
hole.
will be damned.
Ah, put her on the
I'm
spot.
gonna tweet about this later.
I did.
You put me straight on the spot, and I'm like, oh god, I wasn't mentally prepared.
We'll say he just kind of smirks a bit, as it seems like maybe Lumi got flustered by the question or something.
Yeah.
So he just continues to dance with her.
Her ability to, despite being a bard, her ability to ad-lib on the spot is sorely hindered by her player.
He just chuckles a bit.
Whether or
and
not they are ready.
definitely.
There was supposed to be a cute little seagull pun there or something, and she just
I know, that's good. You got where I was going, because the seagulls find land. That's why you went for that.
yeah, and
That's perfect.
she was trying, and she just can't quite get to it, and she goes, "Gosh, I seem to have completely lost my wit. I know that there's a pun there, but heavens, you've left me so breathless. I don't think I could find my way to land right now."
I turn to lose it. Alright. And then just since you are right next to him, the irony of, you know how rich your boss is. And and as you get a better look at this guy, like, you realize every one of those gems that's on his necklace and his wristband and on his sword, that's all like highly precious gems. Like, he could probably be pushing Malice a run for his money, literally. But now you have 2 sugar daddies following you.
Oh my god.
Holy smokes.
Akari, we are good. We're good.
Good.
Akari, what the
Thank you.
first reaction, Akari girl, I got you. Look at my sugar daddies. We are fine.
So you guys continue to dance, and we'll say throughout the next partner shift, we'll say Velkorin ended up with Akari and Demira ended up with Vivra.
Didn't
Yeah.
didn't Demir want to say stuff before we swap?
Yes, she did.
I had options of things to say, but it's not super important.
If you want, you can go for it. Otherwise, we'll continue, because we got a little bit of time left, and I got one more thing that we need to get to.
Okay,
But
if you're sure.
If anybody wants to go for it.
While dancing, Demira was just going to look at the tattoo markings on Velkorin's face coming from under the mask. Last night, you didn't tell me about these tattoos on your face. They remind me of tears.
He's just gonna look at her. These are a little more sentimental. They are more to remind me I don't have to cry anymore when I lose somebody. And to look at the other side. As he looks at his arm that she knows is completely burned to crisp.
Yeah. I'm sorry, maybe I shouldn't have brought it up. And then she brushes her fingers over the shiny crow and raven feathers on his lapel. Have you heard that crows carry souls to the afterlife? In some regions, they believe that the crows can also carry the soul back to the living to right the wrongs of their fate.
I have a feeling it will take a lot of crows to carry me back.
I hope you won't be leaving anytime soon. I'll do my best to make sure of it.
I'm just gonna nod. And now, partnership.
Partnership.
I didn't like that. Get out of here.
Get out, go, no more feelings.
Hang on.
Like
The only person who knows why he has tear tattoos and what his tattoos actually are.
It's Vivra. Right?
Vivra did see.
She saw the dream.
Yeah.
Oh, right. But she doesn't know.
She doesn't know the meaning behind
She
it.
doesn't know the
Well,
meaning
she-
of the tattoos yet.
Yeah, she doesn't know the meaning specifically, but in the dream you were crying the tears that were the blue.
Anyways,
Yeah,
so
that got tattooed onto his face.
So yeah,
Yo.
so Velkorin, you ended up with Akari, and Demira, you are with Vivra, and we'll say Lumi, you're still with Esmeralda. He kind of decided to take you for a second round because he was like,
That
"No,
was a
I'm having
choice.
fun with you."
Well.
Yes, but
Wow.
Back for more.
It's kind of you spun around and he was still there and grabbed you again. Oh, what's funny is meeting
Nope.
you here.
Whoa.
Someone else is standing there with their
Oh.
hand out, like, what just happened?
Yep.
wanted the bird next. No, she's dressed in
No.
gold. She's mine.
Ooh, snazzy. I think Vivra would ask Demira, do you like the dancing?
I have been having fun, although I worry I've been distracted. I am trying to keep an eye out for what we're here to do.
We don't have to dance if you don't want to.
I don't mind at all. Unless you don't want to.
No, I mean, it's fine, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I can't entirely say whether I really like it or really don't. There's just a lot of people.
Yes, you usually prefer to be alone to calm down, right?
Well, yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Would you like to dance a bit further away? Although Velkorin might worry.
She sort of half rolls her eyes and it's like, we can stay within his line of vision, I guess.
I
You know
was
that-
wondering, Vibra. Oh, go ahead.
What?
You know that gif of like the kid, the little girl eating a sandwich, just like evil side eyeing, not happy. I, like he can hear you say that. He just like does that over Akari's head. Like, I can hear you. We're right next to you.
Good. We don't have to stay in the crowded portion. What were you
was
gonna say?
wondering,
Oh,
what is it that draws you to this group? Why are you traveling with them? I'm
Dra-
not entirely
dra-
sure
dra-
why anyone is.
Well, as they're already like kind of walking off, so I was told to stay with Velkorin by Okoku, and so I did, but now Okoku's fine. And she kind of like pauses and it's like, why did I stay with the group in her head? She didn't say that out loud, but it's safer in a group right now, I guess.
Good.
And I guess at this point, I would be worried about you guys with the missions and whatnot that you still have to do.
I have
Okoku-
seen you fight once, and you're very useful to them, keeping them safe. And I think everyone seems to get along to some degree.
Yeah. I mean, well, you joined the group a little later. I mean, we're still not cohesive, I guess, and that's partly my fault, but you know, that's the past, and yeah. It's getting better. I guess.
Well, I could tell that you and Velkorin both care very much for Akari. Oh, which I was meaning to ask her, but I suppose you might know as well. What exactly happened that night when she attacked us?
When Akari attacked us,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure I'm the one that can explain that, really. All I really know is that during blood moons, sometimes Akari changes.
I could tell that she didn't mean to.
I think that she doesn't want to be like that, but she also doesn't want to talk about it. So, I don't know if there's a way to help her, maybe, but she doesn't seem to want to be helped right now.
I suppose it's rude of me to ask anyone other than her,
Yeah,
but I haven't had
probably.
a chance to speak to her yet tonight.
I mean,
Or,
you're not leaving the group anytime soon, are you?
no, I have no reason to. I'm here to help.
Then I think it'll be fine if you wait one more night to ask her questions.
Yes, I think so. Are you enjoying yourself tonight, Vivra?
I'm doing okay. And she kind of like glances at the party and stuff, as I assume that at this point they're kind of dancing on the edge of the dance floor or whatever. I've got a lot on my mind still, but I'm trying to ignore it, at least for tonight. Because we're supposed to be doing a job, but it seems like everything is fine, which is good, but if something does happen, if we're all... I don't know. I'm doing okay, but it's hard to fully enjoy myself right now.
I understand.
Are you having fun at least?
I think so. I've been smiling a lot.
I guess Vivra kind of squints a little bit as she tilts her head and she goes, I guess I never really noticed you don't smile all that often. Do you?
I suppose not, but why would I need to?
Well, I don't think anyone really needs to. I don't think I smile all that often either. It's just an expression, you know. People tend to be more at ease or something, or they expect you to be happy, you know? Otherwise, they ask what's wrong.
Yeah, as long as you're peaceful, then I'm happy.
You guys are having this conversation. You see that the music kind of quiets out and kind of cuts out, And you see that you can make the assumption of why the music would be cut off right now, as Mikau stands up and is getting up to address as the coronation looks like it is about to begin. Most of the quote-unquote non-important people have been shuffled out throughout the night, leaving just the people that were intended for the coronation. As I said, the music had cut off for a bit as Mikau stands before everybody, next to and off to the side near him is Tempa, as you can tell he's getting ready for his speech or so. Looks a bit uncomfortable, but is trying to not show it as much as possible. Clears his throat. Like I said, he's somewhat uncomfortable with the attention, but he's pushing through it. And as he speaks up, he says, "Citizens and friends of the Zoro's domain, it's been an honor to welcome you here today for my coronation. Our kingdom and its denizens are my denizens. That's what I meant to say. Are my first priority. They always will be. Please take this night as an opportunity to forget your troubles, enjoy the remainder of the dance and the banquet in such uncertain times with war waging in the West. Ask you all support each other as I will support you. And as the Zoro's domain's future king, I say," and as he continues his speech, Velkorin and Akari, can you both make perception checks?
Yes.
Suspicious.
Oh, suspicious.
Hmm.
Oh, thank the Lord.
That's an 18 total, but if I don't use the inspiration, I lose it. So maybe I should
You
use it
might as well.
anyway. See
You
if
might as well
Might
do
as
it.
well.
might as well see if I
Yeah.
get something better.
Because I got a 21.
Another fucking 18 total. Okay.
Well, there you go.
It was meant to be.
So 18,
Yeah.
and what did you get?
I had a 21.
In the midst of his speech, you guys kind of are looking around, and you do notice a couple people clutching their head. Kind of stop paying attention to the speech. They look a little wobbly. At this point, Akari, I'd like you to make a wisdom.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Oh, no!
Oh, you should have saved it, dude.
Yeah, I should have.
Oh, you should have. You should have. I was
Uh-oh.
like, the moon's not red though.
I'm the only one who's not in the Roll20 or D&D Beyond chat right now, so I don't know what
Well,
he
you're
rolled,
about to
but I
It was
find
a
heard
out.
four, it was a 4
action.
total.
That's a
Four
4
total.
total.
Oh no.
Akari, as you see the people looking uncomfortable, start to feel that similar pulse in your mind, that itch for blood. And as you start to have that initial, "Oh no, this is the worst time for this to happen," the pearl ring that is on your finger glints a bit. Just this very subtle shimmer of blue, the pale blue color. You feel your mind return to normal. The bloodlust that you were wanting to take over just seems to dissipate. Velkorin would also like you to roll
Oh.
a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no.
15.
Similar to before, you feel your arms start to burn again, almost as intense as when it first happened. In your head, you just hear the subtle laugh, that response, and the voice that you've heard before says, begin. You resist his control. It is
We talked about this beforehand, but it's been like 2 months. When he's super strong and I have to make saves against him, my gloom is what holds it back. So is my gloom flashing out right now?
We'll say
Because I know my
you
eyes will
are
be black at
you are
this
doing
point.
your best to hide it, which is ironic because you and Akari were the dance partners right now. So this is all happening at the same time, just so we make that clear. You noticed Akari kind of do the same thing as the other few people that are around you as she kind of starts to seem like something's affecting her. That's immediately when you feel the pain in your arm. You actually clench onto Akari's hand a bit harder than you expected, and your gloom shadow magic does come out and starts to kind of force its way into where the scale would be, pushing back that urge. And as well as also need Vivra to make a wisdom save.
Is that
I was worried about that.
is Akari going to be aware of that scale because of that and how close they are?
Wearing
He's wearing gloves.
So it would be
Yeah, but
I'm
the gloom
assuming
going in.
my gloom would be because
Yes.
my eyes when I
Yeah.
use my gloom, my eyes the whites of my eyes turn black, so it's black and blue. And then I'm assuming my entire arm has like that gloom aura
Yeah.
coming up
So
off of
seeing it
it.
like trail into it or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, you'd be able to see the shadow magic go into
So at
his
least
hand.
see something is happening for whatever that spot.
Yes.
Like not knowing what the
Oh.
source is, but definitely seeing it go to that
It
spot.
would probably it'd probably be covering the entirety of the arm because the entirety of the arm is corrupt.
Oh, okay.
So it'd be
Did-
like
Well,
one
that's
second.
crazy.
Questions for later.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Go ahead, do your
what
roll.
did you roll?
Well, I'm glad my wisdom's so high, but it might not have saved me this time because that's a 13 total.
Similar to the last time Akari experienced the blood moon, you feel that similar pull and that similar urge for blood to attack, unleash. And like, since this is the second time it's happened to you, you notice it initially right away and start to push it back, push it away, and resist the pull for the most part. At this point, you guys do see five people that you guys had noticed were reacting to something. You see the cloud starts to clear as the similar color shade of red that you are so used to fills the air and lights up the water, reflecting it, almost looking like the water that was crystal clear before now looks as if it's blood. Above you, I should first start with the 5 people that reacted to this blood moon. All have the similar blood red eyes like Akari does when she frenzies. And as you guys look up above you at the very top of the building, you see a woman standing with the blood moon as a silhouette behind her. Akari, you know this woman identically. She's standing with 4 others at the top as she points to Mikau and just says, "Go." And the four people jump off immediately towards him. That's where we will end our session for today.
Did my eye flash like brighter at all in that moment, or was it all just internal for me?
For you, it was most
Okay, because
would've-
Demira was looking right at me.
That's
is
true.
the thing.
That's true. Demira, you probably would have seen her. It's kind of similar to what happened to Akari, where you probably saw her kind of like look distracted for a while. But yes, this is where I wanted to finish. Nibi needs to run away. So, but yeah, so this is where we will end our session and try to figure out who is this mysterious woman that Akari recognizes.
Dun dun dun.
We will finish up for the evening and be back in 2 weeks, as far as I know. We were gone last week because of holiday stuff. So we'll be back in 2 weeks. See you all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.